Hello, my friends. Today I wanted to do a video on taking your health to the next level and correcting deficiencies, okay? Because you really cannot take your health to the next level until you have corrected deficiencies or worked on your current health issues and gotten them under control. I had to do the same thing, okay? I've had different diagnoses like Hashimoto's, rheumatoid arthritis, depression, and you really have to work to get those, like I said, under control, back in balance, or as close as possible, right? If you cannot get past that, then don't even think about going to the next level. And it does take time and work. I probably had every deficiency under the sun because of the way I grew up, and then into early adulthood to my mid-30s. I mean, I was just sick all the time as a kid on lots of antibiotics, ate so much junk food and sugar, it's shocking. And you cannot really find out what your deficiencies are with regular medical blood tests. They're just so insufficient and really don't test much of anything. It's basically just testing you to see what they can medicate you for. And then one example would be like, oh, they always test your potassium and sodium, but they're not really testing it the right way. They're testing your potassium in your blood. Are they testing it in your tissue? No. Magnesium is another one. You really cannot get an accurate testing by a blood test. And so the best way to test your minerals is through a hair analysis. You just take a little strand of your hair closest to your scalp and you test it that way, because that's where a lot of the minerals will build up in your hair, not so much the blood. Heavy metals as well. Heavy metals are not going to show up. And I'm talking about the toxic ones like mercury, aluminum. They're not going to show up in your blood if you've had these issues for a long time, because they're going to settle in your tissues. And that's why it's so important to test your hair. You also need to test your mitochondria health, the energy cells of your body, your glutathione levels, amino acids, certain types of fungus, bad bacteria, candida overgrowth in your gut. They don't test for any of this in the medical world because these type of tests really tell you a lot about your health at a deeper level. They don't even do the right cholesterol tests. 4 basic tests of total cholesterol, triglycerides, HDL, and LDL, and they don't even look at the ratios. And there's really about 15 cholesterol tests that you need for health. So unless you do all this and you're really going to focus in and hone in on all the correct testing, you're never going to be able to take your health to the next level. In my own hair analysis test, I was deficient in manganese, chromium, potassium, magnesium. I was even supplementing with magnesium, but I was still low. And so I had to increase it for a while. And I know if I go off magnesium very long, I get really awful leg cramps, okay? I just do not hold it well. Eating a lot of sugar also just leaches it out of your system, your muscles, your bones. And you really need to get these tested, because when you're low in them, you cannot function at a healthy level. And I think a lot of people just go around feeling sick and they just think that's normal. They don't even know what it's like to feel well. I want to feel great. About 90% of the time, I feel amazing. There's that 10% there's nothing I can do about. I get thrown off track. I travel. I get stressed. I don't sleep well. Things can throw us off. I eat something bad. I'm forced to eat at a restaurant with people that I don't really want to be at, but that's your only option. That rarely happens because I don't allow it to happen. But things can throw us off, but 90% of the time, you should be feeling pretty great. Most people are walking around feeling awful 90% of the time and rarely have good days. If you're walking around with a gut, the rest of your body may be skinny or thin, but you have this gut bulging out, that's not normal. Just because you get older doesn't mean you should have a gut. And I'm even seeing younger people or kids with little guts that are super toxic today. You have to correct that first. It also takes hard work and paying attention to what you are doing, researching, spending time to learn and educate yourself, and not just hoping that you're going to be healthy and that you can get it right. You need to learn to read ingredient labels, eat as clean as possible, which is very hard here. And one reason I take a lot of supplements is because I don't live off the land and I'm not eating whole real foods. Even when you go to Whole Foods or natural grocers, it's still not whole, real food like we would have living off the land with real organic, okay? It's not genetically modified. There's no pesticides or chemicals. I do the best I can living in the city, buying as clean as possible, but I am not growing my own food. And that's the best. If you lived off the land, we wouldn't have to take a lot of supplements. We would be able to nourish our body just fine with real food. I probably take about 30 supplements, but some of them I'll take 2 or 3 days a week. Others I take 5 or 6 days a week. It just depends on what it is. And some of these things just help me age slower. And as I get older, still have that quality life. Even when I'm 80, I don't want to just say, well, I'm 80, so I have all these health issues and that's just how it is. No, we should just die because our stem cells run out and we're done with our life. Not because we have some chronic disease that we think is normal just because we're older. The reason you get those diseases when you're older is because you've let chronic health issues go when you were younger and did not correct it. So you can take your health to the next level, but you first have to focus on your current issues and correct imbalances. Look at your nutrition, your attitude, your sleep, what you're drinking. It all plays a part. Exercise. I don't think walking is really enough. It's definitely better than nothing, but you need to kind of stress out your muscles, your bones a little bit, and make them respond so they grow back stronger and healthier. And so you need to do different types of exercises where you get your heart rate up, your breathing, your sweating. And like I said, you're putting some stress on the body. Now, me being older, I'm 53, getting really close to 54 here in a couple of months. I'm not going to exercise the way I used to when I was younger. You know, I would train 50, 60 miles a week and do a lot of strength training. Some of my runs would be 10 to 20 miles. Now I might run 3 to 6 miles and at a slower pace. Now today I did hill repeats, but I only did 4 of them, okay? So it also depends on your age and how much you push yourself and what you do. We need more strength training and less cardio as we get older. Very, very important so you don't develop sarcopenia, which is muscle wasting as you get older. So you can live a long quality life. And also I look at real science, not just, oh, well, this is what it is, and I just stay on these protocols for life, or these medications for life. I'm always tweaking, switching things up, especially for my rheumatoid arthritis that I've kept at the lowest level possible. It's never moved up or gotten worse. I've tweaked my protocols probably 4 times. I'll try something and it may work for a while or it works okay, but then I find something better that works even better. So you have to be looking at your own body too and how it's responding when you need to tweak something or make a change. That's called real science. Some things I'll just completely throw out. Other things I might come back to every few months or so. But that's kind of how you have to do it. I'm on some different protocols for my arthritis right now. I'm healing my thyroid even more with Perfect Iodine by Activation Products. I also recently discovered phytoplankton that is phenomenal and giving me energy through the roof. So a lot of these things I just test out in my own body to see how I'm going to respond. And some of them I keep and some of them I don't. And then I have basic staples too, like my D3 balance with A, D, and K, omega-3, probiotics a few times per week. There's some staples that are just basics for me always. Magnesium is a big one as well. Okay. So anyways, I would love to teach you to take your health to the next level, but probably about 95% of the people aren't willing because they're not even going to be willing to correct their current health issues or deficiencies. So focus on that, and then you're going to be ready to take your health to the next level. And it is phenomenal.
If you have 2 people in a plane, okay, and one person gets sick, the other person doesn't, even though that there could be a virus in the plane, that person that got sick because their resistance was lower. They were more susceptible to getting that virus or bacteria. And this is what you need to know. The importance of nutrients in keeping your DNA and your genes stable and strong. I want to show you a report by an author, Bruce Ames. Okay, Bruce Ames is 91 years old. He's a professor of biochemistry and molecular biology at Berkeley. He's going strong. Incredible review. DNA damage from micronutrient deficiencies is likely to be a major cause of cancer.